All right. So today, we're gonna talk about a hot topic: Africans versus African Americans. So labarin da zamu yi yau za ku ji aka ce baki abun magana. So yanzu za mu yi magana. What's up, guys? So Shalom here, and yeah, we're gonna talk on a hot topic. Africans versus African Americans. I hate saying versus, but you know, it is what it is. Well, I'm a Nigerian immigrant, moved from northern Nigeria to the United States as a teenager. So by the time I came here, I already fully grown, had tons of experiences and family, friends. I already really was grown up by the time I moved to the States. So I'll just start from there. When I first moved to America, I wasn't really aware that I was really dark skinned. I wasn't aware of the whole divide between the Black community and the African community, or should I say African American community and the African community. That's something I discovered and learned the hard way. So I came. Unfortunately, most of the discrimination I got was from the African American community. They talked about my skin color, how dark I was, my accent. As you can tell right now, I don't have one. I do believe that's as a result of just, wanting to adapt very quickly. Our clothing, our food, they made fun of everything. It was not cool to be African. Today, that's a whole different story. Everybody's proud of it. Even, everybody's trying to do their DNA testing and just to show I'm X% African or XYZ. You couldn't convince anybody that they should go to any African country for any reason. I've gotten all the questions that you might think right now that are stupid, like, did you live with lions? Have you ever worn clothes? The whole, like, making fun of all of that. I've experienced all of that, and those aren't fake stories. Those are real things that have happened. So when you experience all of that, of course, you automatically know that you're different. In contrast, I think most African immigrants, contrasting to what the I guess the welcoming they receive from the African American community is very different to the one that they receive from white people, Hispanic, Asian. The contrast there is, often white people are more interested and ask more questions, or other, they ask more. They're more intrigued, as we'll get into that one day. But in terms of the whole jungle fever thing, but yeah, they seem to be more intrigued, more welcoming, all of it. And I think that has a huge part and plays a role in why Africans have such high esteem for white people. One is because there's more of them that travel to those African countries, and they seem to bring more to the table in terms of whether it's gifts or aid or help or whatever. Not that it's good. I mean, we'll get into that another time. But I think that obviously starts the whole separation between Africans and African Americans. So in my experience, that's been real, and I experienced that. Did that separate me? Not really, because I can't say that's true of every African American. However, I wasn't really as accepted until my college years. which is only like a few years after I got into the States. So um, for me personally, once I started to kind of experience some of these struggles of being black in the United States, then something else kicked in. First, it was anger, because coming from Nigeria, I know how we treat people who come into our country. We're very welcoming, especially for white people. My God, we're extremely welcoming, extremely catering, and they live well. Let's put it that way. They live well. And to see those same people treat me well in my own country, yet coming to their country, I'm not welcome with the same, type of thing. It started creating a certain anger in me that I held on to for a while. Because, on my continent, you seem to like me, but when I come to your country, you treat me like shit, And yes, that created some kind of anger in me. And then as, I continue living in the States, seeing, when you get, driving a nice car isn't to your benefit all the time. Living in a nice neighborhood, being harassed all the time by police, and those things are real in the Black American community. And so being treated that way made me realize, oh man, it doesn't matter if I come from Nigeria and I'm African, or if the next person to me is African American. They treat us all the same. They look at our skin color, and we all get treated the same. They don't pull me over and say, oh, he's wearing a Nigerian jersey, he must be different, he's from Nigeria. No, they treat us all the same. Put you on the curb, harass you, all of that. We get treated the same. So from that point, it allowed me to start developing empathy. Empathy for what Black Americans have gone through and what they are going through. And as a Black person that lived in America, for what I was going through, and so I started seeing it from a different perspective. I think that the whole conversation of Africans versus African Americans, yes, we're different. Let's start off there. We are different. However, harping on those differences can create more of a divide. I see that the healthy conversations are good, obviously, but if those things divide us, then we're the only ones losing, and that's one of the main problems I see in Black communities, in every diaspora, is the ability to divide us so easily. Is that's really killing us, So as far as that story goes, Africans, African Americans, we're different. Yes, we are. However, for me personally, I feel it's part of my purpose to obviously share from my perspective, both understanding the Black American community and the African community, to hopefully bring some kind of bridge that can help both sides understand each other better, that can, really help African Americans as well identify more with their roots and their culture. And, in most things I do in my business as well, you'll see that that is a part of it. I do things that can bring together those two cultures and be a bridge of some sort and bring us closer. If it's understanding our languages, food, identifying with, more of who you are. Those are things that I am trying to do by sharing more like this. So if you have any questions, shoot. I try to, like I said, share content from these different perspectives and hopefully shed light on these two sides. And I mean, that's my story. That's just who I happen to be. I happen to have these two experiences and two cultures that I've been influenced by, and so that's what it is. However, I hope this helps more than hurts. So that's that.